So we're really busy here at Chat Sports covering both the NBA as well as the NFL. And Golden State Warriors Today is one of our best performing channels. But as we continue to grow like crazy here, north of 23,000 subscribers, we want to hear from you if you want more Warriors videos. So if you do, hit that thumbs up icon. And if we get more than 1,000 likes on this video, I'm going to talk to the bosses and we're going to pump out more Warriors coverage. Welcome into Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Chase Sr. We're looking into the latest Golden State Warriors trade rumors on today's show and whether or not they should keep this roster intact, which is off to a miraculous start to the season, an NBA best record of 6-1, or as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline coming up in a couple of months, the Warriors, Bob Myers, Joe Lacob, Steve Kerr should make a trade to bring in a big name player to make this roster even better. So Golden State right now at 6-1, first place in the Western Conference, heading into Friday night's game against the New Orleans Pelicans, a Pelicans team that is really bad. So the Warriors should definitely be victorious in that matchup. And Golden State is receiving a lot of title favorite buzz. Myself, guys like Stephen A. Smith, Bill Simmons saying that we think Golden State is not only the best team in the Western Conference, and I think by far and away they are, but they are the best team across the entire NBA. And in a recent Bill Simmons podcast, he had discussed the possibility of the Warriors making a trade to bring in a big-name superstar to make this roster even better. Here's what Bill Simmons, the podfather, had to say. I think they might actually be the best team in the West. What we're seeing now, how advanced they are, Klay Thompson coming back, and they also have the assets for a trade. But here's the deal. I'm not sure when I look at the roster construction for the Golden State Warriors that they really need to be a wheeler and dealer and break apart a roster that has a lot of continuity, a really good relationship, and a team that's playing a very fun and entertaining style of basketball that has a bunch of great components to it. Now, I'm putting together a Warriors trade assets graphic together. This is a combination of guys who Bill Simmons mentioned, but also players who I think could be trade assets to bring about a likes of a Bradley Beal, maybe even a Damion Lillard to the Bay Area to pair up with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson once he comes back over the next month or two. I think Andrew Wiggins is really valuable as a trade asset. So too is Jonathan Kuminga, who the Warriors selected at number 7 this past NBA draft. Moody is a sharpshooter who I think has a lot of potential. Jordan Poole has burst onto the scene as one of the most improved players in the NBA. I think he's a prime breakout candidate this year. And James Wiseman, who was selected number 2 in the 2020 NBA draft, is a player who a lot of people are down on. I'm higher on him than others, but other teams across the NBA might take a chance on a guy in his early 20s who has plenty of upside. Here's where I stand on this issue. I do not think that Golden State, with what I've seen in the early going so far, needs to make a trade. I like how this roster is together right now. I like how they're playing. I like all of the components to it. And this is without Klay Thompson on the floor. Right now, this is a Warriors team that has all of these different dimensions. They have star power, with Steph Curry as an MVP candidate, Klay Thompson coming back, and Draymond Green still being one of the best defenders in the NBA. They have great depth. Jordan Poole, good depth piece. So too is Gary Payton II, Damion Lee, Andre Iguodala coming in off the bench. Nemanja Bjelica is a player who can stretch the floor as a big. The list goes on. The phenomenal chemistry that I'm seeing really reminds me of those teams that made it to 5 straight NBA Finals a couple of years ago. They have an elite coach in Steve Kerr who pushed the Warriors over the top, pushed them over the edge, taking over for a Mark Jackson, and he's proved to be an elite coach who can make in-game and in-series adjustments over time. And also a big reason why the Warriors have been able to get off to this fast start, and a big reason why I think they're the best team in the West, one of the best teams in the NBA. They have a really good defense. The number 1 defensive efficiency across the entire association, that is home to the Golden State Warriors. And all of these ingredients are ingredients for a championship level team, a team that has title aspirations, a team that can make a deep postseason run. And a big reason why the Warriors were able to win all of those NBA championships, making it to 5 straight NBA finals, is because they had all of those necessary ingredients that I just broke down on your screen. And this is, again, all coming without the likes of a Klay Thompson, who's one of the best shooters of all time, alongside Steph Curry, and without James Wiseman. Kevon Looney, who I didn't even talk about yet, is another good depth piece for this team, is a serviceable center. But if you move him to the bench and James Wiseman into that starting lineup, or vice versa, you then further solidify your front court as well. Goes to show you the great team that Bob Myers has been able to put together this year in 2021 and 2022. So do you think the Warriors roster is set? Let me know in the comment section right now. Your opportunity to hop on board and join the show, and sound off down below. Type S for, yeah, this team is set. Chase, no question about it. Type M for, you think they need another piece to make another move. Get those votes in the comment section right now. Warriors Today, brought to you and powered today by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. I love gambling on everything. And I might be a gambling degenerate. I bet on football. I bet on the NBA, but I'm responsible with it, and you can be responsible with it as well. It's really not that hard unless you just can't control yourself. Go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code CHAT125. That allows you to get a 125% deposit bonus. So you can put in $100 into your account. You get an additional $125 back. That's $225 to game with, and this deal applies for anybody living anywhere, including our Filipino audience. Here's how some of these betting odds work. I'll break them down and simplify them for you. Right now, Jordan Poole is at plus 1,500 odds to win the Most Improved Player in the NBA award. So what that means is if you risked $5 on Jordan Poole to win that award, and he actually won it, the payout would be $75. And I really think it's only a two-man race between Jordan Poole and Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets. I put some money down on this because I like the payout. The odds are in my favor, and the value there is fantastic. You see what I'm talking about? See further what I'm talking about by going to chatsports.com/bet. Enter the promo code CHAT125. We talked about Klay Thompson earlier on, and look, he's going to come back in the next month or two. Steve Kerr saying that his looming return has really re-energized this team to a certain degree, and I think they're playing like an energized team right now. But if Klay Thompson is able to be anything close to what he was from 2014 to 2019, when he really solidified himself as one of the best two-way players in the NBA, this Warriors team is going to be really dangerous. I mean, from a large sample size here, 21.5 points per game. He shot 47% from the floor. This is a guy who's always going to shoot around 40% from distance as well. Lights out player who adds a different dimension to this Warriors lineup, defensively and offensively. And here's the good news. There's no rush to bring him back, and also you're not going to have to rely on him to play like he did from 2014 to 2019 because of that aforementioned depth. As for Andrew Wiggins, who a lot of people have been dangling in a trade like a carrot, I think he brings a lot of value to this roster as well, and I think he fits perfectly on this team considering all of the different elements that you have. No, he's not going to live up to the expectations of being that number one pick a few years ago. But Andrew Wiggins in a Harrison Barnes role, it perfectly suits him. And this year, he's averaging around 16 points per game. He can rebound the basketball. He's giving you a steal per night as he plays passing lanes well with his length. And he's shooting around 44% from the floor, which has just been okay. And he's been dealing with some injury issues here early on. But what Andrew Wiggins gives you is athleticism and defense. That's what Harrison Barnes gave you, and Harrison Barnes was a part of those teams that were making deep playoff runs and help winning NBA championships. So I don't think you need to trade away an Andrew Wiggins. I think he's really valuable for this current roster. As for James Wiseman, I simply just want to see more from James Wiseman. I'm not out on the player yet because, look, picking him at number 2 ahead of LaMelo Ball. Should the Warriors have done it? Should they not have? There were some reports at the time conflicting that the Warriors maybe were looking into LaMelo, but LaMelo didn't want to go there, so they elected to go with James Wiseman. Whatever at this point, it's all revisionist history. What I'm looking at now is a young emerging player who still has a lot of upside, and the Warriors as a franchise have done such a great job of developing talent. And I'm going to bet my money that the Warriors are going to be able to develop this talent on a rookie last year who, as a teenager, put you on the board with 11.5 points per game, a little less than 6 rebounds, almost a block per night, and shot around 52%. And I think he's going to continue to grow his game out to the offensive perimeter, and over time, maybe give you that Chris Bosh element of knocking down some three-pointers and kind of just giving you another floor spacer. Want to double down on this. I want to see what Wiseman is before I trade him away, because let's say you trade away a young player who's a really valuable asset right now, who other teams are probably interested in trading for, in addition to a deal that would include other players. I don't want to see him go somewhere else and flourish. The other part of this equation, he's also very affordable too, and he's got positional versatility. So, do you think the Warriors can win a title with this team as it currently sits right now, without making any major moves? Like, if they get rid of JTA, that doesn't really count. Can the Warriors win a title with this team right now? Let me know. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get those votes in once more in the comments section, and make sure you subscribe to Warriors Today. We're north of 23,000 subscribers, one of the largest Warriors news and rumors channels out there on YouTube. I'd argue we're the best. Show us that we're the best by hitting that red subscribe button down below. Always appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am Chase Sr. Enjoy your weekends and go Dubs.